In the last year, we have helped over 250 clothing brands with their website conversion very specifically, and we've helped them generate millions more in revenue. So today, I'm excited to share with you the top 5 psychological triggers that can significantly boost your conversion rates on Shopify. Now, these aren't the commonly known tactics like basic upsell apps or standard email marketing tools. Instead, we're diving down into lesser known strategies that can give you a significant edge over the competition. So we'll walk through each of these psychological triggers, explain its impact on customer behavior, show you the specific Shopify app that you can use to implement these triggers as well. So by the end, you should have the insights and the tools, right, to supercharge your sales and elevate your brand. So let's get started. First psychological trigger is urgency. Now, what is urgency? Urgency is a trigger that pushes customers to act quickly to avoid missing out. People just hate missing out, right? So by creating a sense of time pressure, you can encourage customers to make faster purchasing decisions. Now, this one, I will say this, it has to be used in a way where it's not gimmicky, right? You want to be honest about the urgency factor because people can sniff that out very quickly. So how can we actually implement urgency on a Shopify store? The first thing that comes into mind is a countdown timer, right? Using countdown timers on your product page or during checkout or to highlight a limited time offer. Like, these are all things that you can do. A different place that I've seen it too is within the cart, where we save this cart for a limited amount of time, which that one actually has a little bit more weight, right? Because you don't want to necessarily save a product, right, for someone. If you are a high volume store, this actually can be a tactic that can work really, really well. And again, this just creates a sense of immediacy, like it prompts customers to buy now before the time runs out, or buy now before someone else sort of snatches that product from your cart. Now, you can use this for flash sales. You can run short-term sale events with significant discounts. You can promote these sales as a sort of a 24-hour flash sale to quickly drive those purchases. Something else that you can do with urgency is shipping deadlines. So you can inform customers about the last day to order for a guaranteed delivery by a specific date, right? This is especially for peak seasons or holidays. We just had Mother's Day, so informing the customer, like, you have to order by this day in order to get it by Mother's Day, right? Those are all tactics that actually work on your site, and if you're not using them, you're losing money. Now, I want to give you a real life example. So Amazon actually uses frequently the urgency countdown timers for their lightning deals. So they promote customers to make quick decisions because these are lightning deals and they go away. So you can technically do something similar to what Amazon is doing on your Shopify store to drive higher conversion. Now, an app that will help you with this is by Hextom Countdown Timer Bar. You can actually create a countdown timer to highlight, again, that limited time offer and flash sale. This is a free app, so check it out. Now, the second trigger is commitment and consistency. These are sort of one. It's two, but it's one. So what is commitment and consistency? So people prefer to act in ways that are consistent with their previous actions, right? So once customers commit to something small, they are more likely to follow through with a larger commitment. So this principle can help build long-term loyalty and repeat purchases. So how can we implement commitment and consistency to your Shopify store? You can add a wish list functionality, right? So you can allow customers to save items to a wish list, encouraging them to commit to future purchases, right? Seeing their saved items regularly can remind them to complete their purchases. And it's such a low effort task, right? They're just clicking a little heart button or potentially a little plus button on their store. So it's a very, very low commitment thing that you can add to your store that, again, psychologically, it will help them transition to a purchase product. Another thing that you can implement is loyalty programs that rewards repeat purchases, right? This will foster, again, a sense of commitment to the brand. Customers who have invested time in earning actual rewards or points, they're going to remain consistent in their purchasing behavior in the future. The last thing you can do is send personalized follow-up emails to customers who have shown interest in certain products, but maybe haven't purchased just yet. So reminding them of their previous interest can encourage them to actually go through and finalize their checkout. Now with Klaviyo, you can set up a flow where it goes off of interest on actual products, and you can set up these automatically with that tool. Now, if you want an example of a wish list feature, then head over to chubbyshorts.com and you'll see the little heart icons on the collection page. Now, if you're interested in an actual app, then Wishlist Plus can enable customers to save their favorite products to a wish list, again, to encourage that future purchase and increasing customer commitment. And if you're looking for rewards and loyalty, Smile is always my go-to when it comes to that app. Hey, if you're liking the content so far, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We release 2 new videos every single week. We never miss. Now, the third psychological trigger is liking. So what is liking? This is not your typical liking on Facebook. So people are more likely to buy from brands they like and feel connected to. So building a likable brand persona can significantly impact conversions by fostering that emotional connection with your customers. So how can we implement liking on your Shopify store? First thing that comes to mind is brand story. You have to share your brand's story and values to create that emotional connection with your audience. So let the customers know what makes your brand unique and why they should support it. Obviously, having a dedicated page, not just an about page, but a philanthropy page, but a careers page, right? Sections within your store talking about these things. These are all things that will come back to that brand story and building that persona in my mind for this particular brand. This is a little bit outside of the actual website, but engaging them in social media is really the number one way to get this going, right? Maintaining an active and engaging presence on social media platforms is crucial. So regularly interacting with your audience, sharing the behind the scenes content, showcasing your customer stories, showcasing and highlighting your staff is going to create that connection. Something else that can actually increase this is going to be how quickly, right? How prompt and how positively you respond to your customers via email, via SMS, not just the website, right? And the chat functionality. Hopefully you have a chat functionality, but going, beyond every single touch point that you have with your customers, how likely are you to communicate with them positively? And also how quickly are you able to communicate, right? Showing that you care about your customers and their experience can definitely enhance the liking of your brand. Now, one of the biggest examples here is Patagonia, right? Like their commitment to environmental sustainability and the fact that they're just great at storytelling and making sure that you know those things through social media, through even their website. It just makes their brand more likable. It resonates with their core audience, right? They actually share their brand's value. They share what their customers are doing, and it just creates great connection. Now, to me, the lowest hanging fruit in terms of apps and something that you can do right now for your store, and this goes a little bit beyond, just your brand story, but it's actually reviews, right? By showcasing and highlighting customer reviews, you sort of get a glimpse of how your brand, how your customers talk about your brand, right? So install Judge Me. Judge Me is a free app. Sure, they have a paid version of it, but you can get a lot of the features for free in your store installed and start gathering reviews so you can become more likable. Now, number 4 is novelty. So what is novelty? Novelty refers to the appeal of new and unique products. People are naturally attracted to new experiences and items that actually stand out, right? So by regularly introducing new products, you can keep your customers engaged and coming back for more. So how can we implement novelty on your Shopify store? Obviously, you're probably seeing it right now, new arrivals. Yeah, new arrivals. Regularly updating your store with new collections, new highlights, creating a dedicated new arrival section on your homepage, creating a dedicated new arrivals collection. Like these are all great things that you can do for your store. Even sort of, remixing or new colorways, right? These are all things that you can do within your store to enhance that novelty factor. Obviously, you can also do seasonal releases. You can introduce seasonal or limited time collections to, again, keep your offerings fresh and new. You can also offer unique or maybe customizable products, right, that they cannot find anywhere else. Highlight the uniqueness and customization options to attract more attention to those products. And obviously not everyone's going to be able to do the novelty aspect, especially if you're just starting out. A great example that comes to mind, Urban Outfitters, right? They frequently update their new arrival section, which keeps customers coming back, right, to the store to discover what's the latest trends, what's the newest products, right? So implementing a similar strategy within your store could be very helpful to get those people coming back to your store. Hey, let's redo your website. What are you waiting for? Do you need a theme refresh? Do you have any issues that you need to fix within your store? Let us rebuild your Shopify store with our website VIP Day. More information on that in the description below. Now, an app that can help you with the novelty factor could be something like a back in stock, restock alerts, right? You can notify customers when out of stock items are available again, right? Keeping them engaged with your store and coming back for that new thing. It's not a new thing, it's an old but new thing coming to your store. Now, the last psychological trigger here is loss aversion. So what is loss aversion? Loss aversion is the principle that people prefer to avoid losses rather than acquire equivalent gains. So highlighting potential losses can motivate customers to make a purchase to avoid missing out on something valuable. So how can we implement loss aversion on Shopify? This may be overlapping a little bit, but limited time discounts, right? Offering short-term discounts and highlighting their expiration using phrases like "don't miss out on 20% off" to emphasize that potential loss. That's really where you want to emphasize. It's in the wording and the copy that you're using. Something else you can do is exclusive access, right? So providing early access to sales or even new arrivals for those loyal or sort of VIP or maybe email subscribers, right? That creating that sense of exclusivity can really make customers feel sort of privilege or prompt them for quicker purchases. You can also do things like displaying messages of only a few left in stock, right? This is actually a feature that newer themes are adding by default, which is absolutely great, is having that stock quantity in place where you can set up that threshold when we reach maybe 2 items, display this message of urgency and fear of missing out. Now, an example that comes to mind is Supreme, right? They masterfully create that FOMO for releasing limited quantities of new items and setting that schedule, right? It causes massive anticipation and quick sellouts because people know these are gonna sell out. These are limited time, limited products, and know exactly when they're going to come out. Now, if your theme doesn't have the stock inventory portion of it on your product page, then you can use stock countdown timer to display that low stock alert on your product pages to, again, create that sense of scarcity and promote quick purchases. Now, by leveraging these psychological triggers, you can significantly enhance your conversion rates on your Shopify store. If you missed our first video on this, these are 5 brand new psychological triggers, but we have another video you can watch right here where we talk about the first 5 psychological principles. So check that one out.